So we are halfway through this temple. The random encounters are about as difficult as I remember in the other version. Which is to say, difficult enough that there's actually been a couple that I've had to just run from. Though that hasn't happened too often. But almost all of them take at least a couple of turns, so all of them take some amount of VP to get through. I've had to use one God's Vigor on Atsuma to get through the last section. Didn't quite make it out here before he hit 0. But we still have 4 more, so I'm comfortable going into the next section without leaving to buy anymore. Because unfortunately, leaving to buy more would require me to go all the way back to Junk City, which I'm only going to do if I absolutely have to. And just to put it into perspective, I'm definitely going to have to edit this down a whole lot, so probably hasn't been all that long for you guys. But for me, it has been over 4 hours just getting halfway through this. So, here's to probably another 4 or more, because I think the second half is probably going to be harder. Although at least I think we're through the section that's going to have the most water golems. I think that was this section of levels, just going by the decor of this part. I know that it wasn't in this version, but each of the holy beasts used to have a little mini temple that looked a lot like these, and this is what the temple for the water type one, the divine turtle, looked like. And it's not all water golems here. There have been some other types, but there have been a lot of water golems, and poor Atsuma just kept getting knocked out, so hopefully the next sections don't have as many water types. It would help. So, fun fact that I just noticed, so I have no idea how long it's been happening, but apparently the game doesn't seem to let parameters other than health and ether increase beyond 999. So direct, ranged support, and agility all seem to cap out at 999, and the game will let you keep spending SP on them, but they don't seem to be going up. I'm going to do a couple of tests to see if, like, damage keeps going up. Like, maybe it's a menu issue where it just doesn't go up in the menu, but is going up as far as, like, the damage calculations are concerned. I'm not sure. I will let you know how that goes. Okay, Rygar's is also capped, so he has enough to theoretically increase his direct parameter, even though it's capped, the game will let you do it. I'm gonna hold that for just a second. We're going to run Rygar through a battle. I will check his damage during the battle, and then I will come back and I will increase this once, and then I'll check it again and see if the damage went up or not. Okay, so what is Rygar's damage with Mega Blade now? It's still 679. Okay, so parameter boosts for everything other than ether and health only work up to 999. So past that, just don't invest in it. Like, take the parameters you want up to 999, and then everything else goes into health and ether, I guess. Does stuff like high power excel still work properly? Because I haven't really been paying attention all that much. I've just sort of been assuming that it makes the attack's power go up. Well, I may end up having to retry this fight because I'm now just doing this to experiment, but that's okay. You can retry as many times as you want and the game doesn't penalize you, so...
Use it well. Yeah.
Okay. See?
Thank you.
Okay, so parameter boosts work. So you can still use those to get your parameters higher. It's just that your base parameter, and I don't know if it's including like weapons in that calculation or how that works. All I can say is I might experiment with that a little bit, but I think like base parameter at the very least, like you can't increase it any further than 999 with SP, even though the game lets you continue doing so and doesn't say anything about it. So yeah, that's not great. Okay, so weapon definitely matters to some degree, because if I take him all the way back down to the sword that he started with, the bulky sword, you can see that his direct drops below 999. However, even the next sword up from that, the amber sword, is enough to get his direct to 999. So unfortunately, I've probably been wasting SP for a little while without really realizing it, especially on Rygar, because there's really not a whole lot of point in investing in a lot of his other parameters. So that's unfortunate. But now I know, and now you guys know. So there's that, at least. It was a learning experience. But yeah, weapons don't seem to be able to take it above 999. The only way to increase parameters past that is to use parameter boosting moves like Levitate or Power Excel. So once you hit that, switch to increasing something else, even if it's just health and ether. Those, so far at least, seem to be, if not unlimited, then at least they go a lot higher than 999, as you can see. I'm curious, how far down do I have to go to get... Okay, so Atsuma hasn't been wasting he hasn't been wasting SP for very long. If I take him down to even the weapon he was using before we got his god weapon, it immediately goes below 999. So I think the only one that's wasted a bunch of SP is Rygar. So we have that going for us. That honestly wasn't too much more difficult than just fighting one because they couldn't maneuver. And that's why you don't see me taking more than one size 4 golem on a team, even though the game does let you take 2. You know, I have to wonder why the ones that the Lord of Friggin' Earth could summon weren't... I mean, maybe not this powerful, because he could summon a lot more than 2. He just didn't summon very many when we fought him for some reason, but he could summon more than that. So maybe not quite this strong, but maybe like 900-ish HP rather than 300, which was just trivial at that point in the game.
Yeah! Strike! Ha!
失礼します踊らにゃどうだよ
Attack!
痛いですね炎を射る
Fire! I'm alive again. Fire! Yeah! Take this!
痛いです回復だよもう大丈夫
Yeah! Rage and... Yeah! Strike!
失礼します回復だよもう大丈夫
So it occurred to me that since Rygar is pretty significantly over the cap for direct, it might be worth trading out this support skill that gives him an additional 20% in that attribute to something else and see how much. Okay, so it would take it below the cap. However, it doesn't take it below the cap by much. I'm not sure exactly how much they gain in parameters from leveling up. I think it's mostly health and ether. Like, level up compared to SP expenditure is usually pretty negligible. I'll leave it there for now, but I'm gonna check back in a level or two after he levels up and see if, like, direct is still ticking along, to see if that's higher than 915 when I take it away. Because eventually, either through leveling up or through me just deciding to invest a bit more SP in that stat, he might be able to just be at the cap without that support, which would allow him to use something else, probably wide range, to let him just move anywhere on the board.
Reduce them to ash!
Okay!
Defend!
I'm feeling it now!
I'm alive again!
Thank you!
Take this! Yeah!
Take this! Healing power!
Good! Rage and... Yeah!
That's better!
Guys, come on! Healing! Oh, damn it! Ugh. I'm alive again.
Most regrettable.
Healing power.
I'm alive again.
Bang!
Fire! Yeah!
I see you. Water. I see you.
Yeah!
Recover.
I'm alive again.
I see you.
Rage and... Yeah!
Healing power.
I'm alive again.
Bang!
Fire! Yeah!
Healing power.
I'm alive again. Healing.
In my sight. In my sight.
Okay, so as you can see, we've made it through the third part of this dungeon and even beat the boss to get into the fourth section. However, I think I'm going to have to level grind a little bit in probably the first part of the dungeon because the fights have been getting a lot more difficult. It's not too bad when I have some of the strongest members of my team, you know, Rygar, Yuki, Kareen, the 4 beast golems, Mermaid. They can handle things reasonably well for most of the random encounters. However, a big part of the challenge of this dungeon is that, especially as you get further in, the fights wear you down and you can't just rely on the strongest members of your team. You need to bring out some of the golems that you perhaps haven't been using that much, which I had to do. When I actually made it to that checkpoint, I had to come back up here and heal and then go back and face the boss because I had several key party members that just through bad luck went to 0 VP because they would just get a knockout in a long, nasty battle and go from 15 to 20 VP to 0 because that can happen in some of the nastier encounters. So, yeah, definitely gonna have to level grind. Going to go visit the shop first because we got a lot of gems and a lot of golem cores and even some weapon cores, moon weapon cores. I'm not sure if they're better than the iris weapons, but we're gonna check. So if things are interesting, I'll show you part of that shopping trip. I'm definitely not going to make you sit through the level grinding. So for you guys, we'll just, get to have a smooth transition into the next part of the dungeon. For me, it's probably going to be another 2 hours, at least.